With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days.
Tensions in West Asia have soared. With U.S. entering the war, the international community continues to push to avert a wider conflict in the region. Here are the latest developments. The IAEA has demanded the return of agency inspectors to Iran's nuclear sites in a bid to account for its highly enriched uranium stockpiles. IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi says it includes the 400 kilograms enriched to 60%. This is after attacks by Israel and the United States on Iran's atomic program.
First of all, we must return to the negotiating table, and for that, allow IAEA inspectors, the guardians on our behalf of the NPT, to go back to Iran's nuclear sites and account for the stockpiles of uranium, including, most importantly, the 400 kilograms enriched to 60%.
While the IAEA seeks success, the Iranian parliament is considering to pass a bill to suspend the country's cooperation with the nuclear watchdog. This was raised in parliament by Speaker Mohammad Bagher Khalibaf. He said that the cooperation will be suspended till Iran has objective guarantees of the professional behavior of the international organization. Khalibaf also reiterated Iran's stance that it is not pursuing nuclear weapons. Iran says it will neutralize any source of threat at a time and place of its own choosing. This is what Iran's permanent representative to the United Nations in Vienna, Reza Najafi, said.
The era of unchecked impunity has come to an end. As long as the source of the threat persists, the Islamic Republic of Iran will continue to undertake necessary, resolute, and proportionate measures to neutralize it at a time, place, and manner of its own choosing, in full exercise of its inherent right to self-defense under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter.
The gate of Iran's notorious Evin prison in Tehran has been hit by Israeli strikes. Iran's Judiciary Media Center confirmed that the prison has been hit, but added that the situation remained under control. The prison is known for holding dual nationals and Westerners, often used by Iran as bargaining chips in negotiations with the West. The U.S. Embassy in Qatar has told American citizens in the country to take shelter until further notice. The embassy posted a notice online which said the recommendation had been made out of an abundance of caution. No further information has been given at this point. The U.S. is bracing for possible retaliation after it bombed Tehran's 3 main nuclear sites on Sunday. Immediately after the attacks on Sunday, Iran had declared every American in the region a legitimate target. Miss Elizabeth Lawrence is a non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council's Indo-Pacific Security Initiative. She is now joining us live from Washington, D.C. Miss Elizabeth Lawrence, it's good to see you. Israel's objective from the word go was to destroy nuclear sites in Iran. But the United States has done that job for them. But why is Israel continuing to bomb Iran? Are they justified to do that?
Thank you for having me on. Well, I mean, certainly according to international law, any preemptive or preventive strike against an independent sovereign country is against international law. That said, Tehran and the government there in Iran has, since creation of the Islamic Republic in 1979, sworn to destroy the state of Israel, and Israel believed that Iran was becoming closer and closer and closer to that possibility. And so rather than wait, for some type of a nuclear attack against Israel, they essentially busted a move first, just as they had done against Iraq's Azarak nuclear facility back in 1981 when they had intelligence that Saddam Hussein was building weapons of mass destruction against Israel. And so it's not just like a 1-2 strike and you're out. Israel, even before the bunker busters went in and took out the facilities, that you had to soften up any type of ability for Iran to retaliate against Israel. Israel is on a roll. It is pretty much taking care of Iran's proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and as well as in Syria and the Houthi rebels. And so it's not going to stop until the job is done, until the state of Israel feels relatively safe as it can be against its sworn enemy.
Ms. Lawrence, they say, and that is the Americans and also Israelis, that peace can only come after the regime in Iran has been changed. This rhetoric about changing the regime in Iran is popping up, and it's spreading quite fast. Do you think it is ideal for the United States or Israel to call for a regime change at this juncture?
No, it's not. I know that President Trump had mentioned that let's make Iran great again. We know President Trump engages in a lot of hyperbole. Vice President J.D. Vance clearly said we do not seek regime change. We have seen attempts at regime change in other Middle Eastern countries that did not go down well. The government of Iran has certainly been weakened because of these strikes, days, weeks of pounding by Israel, complemented by the United States. And so it remains to be seen, it remains up to the Iranian people who, they've come out, they protest before, and man, the government comes out hard against them. But hey, hitting that Evin prison might just help a bit this time.
Ms. Lawrence, talk about diplomacy, because we see Iranian foreign minister still continuing with his outreach program. He's in Russia. He's seeking Russia's assistance in this whole situation. But do you actually think that diplomacy can work at this juncture? Because Iran says diplomacy was blown up by Israel and America.
Certainly. What card, right, does Iran have to play right now? And certainly it wants to seek diplomacy. Iran is in a very weak position to make any types of, let's say, demands, right? Hence one of the reasons why, they're over in Russia trying to get their big bully brother to help them out. Russia's been weakened, right, in its war in Ukraine. So yeah, let the two of them have each other. This is what the UN exists for diplomacy, though. Let's see the UN actually do its job and push forth the U.S. plan, which was, hey, every country has the right to peaceful nuclear energy, and Iran would have to agree to have the energy processed outside the country and then shipped back in. So if the UN could push that along, great. Move forward with the diplomacy.
All right, Ms. Elizabeth Lawrence, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for talking to WION World as One today.
Thank you.